Hello, beautiful souls. Healing Grasshopper here to do a reading for anyone who has joined this reading. Um, if you were attracted to this reading at any time, then it was meant for you. This reading is not meant to have a timestamp on it. So whenever you see it, it's whenever you should absorb it. So we have got a pretty straightforward reading. The interesting thing is that I think the people who are watching right now are in a very fresh situation where they are quite upset because I woke up from a very odd dream where I knew it wasn't my energy. I don't completely remember what it was, but I kind of woke up upset and I just knew it wasn't my energy. And then I had an urge to do a reading. So here I am. And sure enough, the cards came up with a very interesting scenario here. We've got chair empty, someone is leaving your life. Scissors, disappointment in some affair. Peacock, aware of great pride. Then we have crown, honor and respect will come to you. And broom, new home, new attitude. Such a beautiful beginning of a reading. And I know that you guys don't feel that way right now, that everything's beautiful and hunky dory, but what I see is a relatively quick recovery from this. That doesn't mean that you have to hurry up and finish grieving. You take as long as you need to. But what I'm saying is, I don't think the pain will be as acute as it feels right now for very long. Um, you've got a lot of help. Uh, I feel you guys have a team of spirit guides around you, which is why I had the dream and why I was compelled to do this reading today. I think your spirit guides were like, "Hey, Grasshopper, could you please help me out here?" So you're good. You're not alone. So let's see what tarot says. Um, Ace of okay. So we're starting out with reversed Ace of Wands, which in this context, I have to state the obvious here. A lot of tarot readers will think of this card as like the kind of a sexual affair card type thing. And it doesn't really turn up for me that way, except for now it's befitting and it's reversed. So we've got some kind of sexual misconduct, if you want to put it, some cheating, the betrayal here, um, which is disappointing. Scissors, disappointment, and a separation. Scissors can also point to. What do we got next? Ace of Cups, reversed. Yes. Yeah. Sexual misconduct. We've got love lost here in the Ace of Cups. See, oh my God, wow. We've got Six of Cups. I'm surprised the King of Cups is not reversed here, but that's okay. Or this might be you, actually. So let's hold on here. Six of Cups. This is a relationship that you guys were very, very attached to. This can often be the nostalgia card, of relationships that have been with you for a very long time, or relationships that you've rekindled from the past. But this is really screams out comfort, and a long time comfort, almost a comfort that you took for granted was always going to be there for you. And also a situation that you glorified, romanticized as well. Um, that is a surprise to you that there's a betrayal here. Um, King of Cups is one who is in control of their emotions. And hold on, let's see what else Tarot wants to tell before I start talking about the King of Cups. Yeah. Wow. What did I say about this not you not feeling the acute pain so long? Death next to the King of Cups actually is a good sign here. What else do we have? And death is in the middle of the reading, which says that death is the focus. And death can seem like a negative card, but it's really not. It just means an ending, and it's upright, so it's a clean ending. This doesn't have to be messy and toxic, guys. It can just, if you just accept that it is what it is and keep it pushing, because you've got some great things coming up ahead down the road. Um, Hold on. Judgment reversed? Yes. Okay, what else we got? So the judgment reversed is about being in tune with your subconscious and your spirit guides. The upright judgment is like revelations from beyond the veil. But it's upside down, so it denotes kind of like a blockage. You're not quite there. When we're in grief, it's kind of hard to hear the subtle voice of spirit, you know, um, because it's almost as if in our minds there's like this silent screaming that is, drowning out the voice of your spirit guides, which is common when you're in grief. So don't beat yourself up. Knight of Swords. Look at this Knight of Swords below the Ace of Wands. This is someone this is a player, and you might not have seen that before, or I was going to say that you might not have seen it before because you're glorifying that kind of thing. That may be true for some of you, but the other thing is that we might be talking about a situation where, yes, you had a legitimate, like, love-filled relationship, but this person may be in some kind of midlife crisis or something where they feel that they need to go and empty I mean, fill some kind of void that they feel, their lost youth and that kind of thing, where, they've become this sly talking player and someone that you don't recognize. What else we got, Spirit? Okay, not reversed. Okay. Six of Swords. This is you set, but knowing that you need to move on. So good for you. Um, I would love to see the Eight of Cups next. Um, but this somewhat has the same Eight of Cups energy where you are, there is something that's going to, things are going to culminate in a way that you understand that there is no fixing this. And you are going to put yourself first. Which, by the way, King of Cups over here is a very, very stoic type of person where he's not unloving, but he does not allow his emotions to overcome him. He feels what he feels, but he's also very rational and doesn't let his emotions lead him. He is leading his heart in the right direction in the healthiest way possible, right? King of Cups is someone who knows what's good for him. And he's not going to sit in toxicity and that kind of thing. And that's what the Six of Swords is saying. Yes, you're upset. See how forlorn she is. She's looking down, and you almost imagine her crying here. But she understands that she needs to go. You know that's you. Tower. Is this reversed? It's not reversed. Okay. Yeah. So again, this was something that you did not see coming. It was just kind of sudden. Um, or if you did see it coming, you didn't see it for very long. It wasn't like you were suspecting for years and years and years. It's kind of, if you suspected something before you really found out, it was only maybe a matter of weeks or days before it was confirmed. That kind of thing. For the most of, for the majority of you, this is the kind of situation where you just stumble on the text, or God forbid you walk into the bedroom and find this person with someone else. That kind of thing where it's just like, what's happening? The tower is a sudden break in your life where it's nothing really of your own doing. It's something outside of you that's happening, that's coming to kind of a crashing end, so to speak. One more spirit outcome card, please. And we're going to get back to these cards in a moment because there's a beautiful message here. Okay. Reversed, not reversed. Okay. So, Seven of Wands, I'm glad to see here. Seven of Wands, it really looks like this guy is really fighting off these wands here, which he is. He's in a tussle here, but he's above all of these others. He's managing it very well. This person has the upper hand. So if those of you who are getting a divorce, things are going to work in your favor. Um, it's not all going to go easily. There's going to be a fight, but I think it's time now to talk about these here because we've got beware of great pride, right? Peacock here, which is very attached to this card here because then it says honor and respect will come to you, new home, new attitude, broom. Okay. All of this is talking about choose your battles. Don't nitpick about every little thing. Know that everything is working in your favor for the greater good, right? And that wallowing in your pride and ego and engaging in toxic fights and all of that is not going to serve you well. It's just going to, bring your vibration down. So the person doesn't need a lecture about how wrong they were, how hurt you are, how you feel. They don't need anything to hear anything from you at all. You just need to walk away. And I know that's easier said than done. That's just a suggestion. If you feel that there are things that you have to say, by all means, go and do it. But just be careful when you're doing this that this doesn't turn toxic. The moment you feel this turning toxic, it's time to shut it down because you don't need that. It's not going to do any good for you. Um, and the other thing is you're going to say what you have to say, and I don't see this other person opening their arms and embracing what you're talking about. You know, they're going to be on the defensive. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to divert the subject. They're going to do everything under the sun to win over you, and they're not going to back down and open their hearts because right now they're in a crisis. And that's something that they have to deal with. This has nothing to do with you, and this is not your job to fix either, by the way. Let them deal with their crisis. They're going to have to deal with their karma on their own. Hopefully, they're spiritual and they can find their way to their spirit guides for help because they're going to be in a whole world of hurt with this tarot card. I mean, tower card. Um, the tower for you is going to be a clean break, albeit a bit painful. It's not going to be horribly catastrophic for you. It's going to hurt a bit, and then you're going to, drive off into the sunset with, lollipops and rainbows at some point. And which brings me back to here new home, new attitude with a high vibrational attitude is going to bring you a beautiful new life that you didn't see coming. At some point, guys, you're going to look back at this and say, I understand why that happened. This happened because God had something better for me. Okay? At some point, that acknowledgement I was talking about before, remember when I was just talking about you're not going to get them to see it your way, they're going to be defensive and all of that. At some point, when they emerge from this crisis of theirs, they are going to look back at you with honor and respect. And honor and respect you're going to have for yourself too. There's going to be a point where you're going to be proud of yourself in the way you handled this, right? So don't engage in the toxicity and say things that you'll regret and rob yourself of this, honor and respect for yourself because it's going to be there. You're going to be like, yay, there's going to be a big wiping of your shoulders and patting yourself on the back. Um, let's see. Do we need tarot clarification? No. Advice cards. This tray? Hold on, guys. We're gonna get some clarification. I mean, some advice cards. Esther Hicks. Esther Hicks. More than one card? No. Okay, so you've got one Esther Hicks card. Okay. So, by the way, if you guys have questions, you have anything that's on your mind, I would be thrilled to hear from you in the comment section because I answer every single comment. I enjoy talking to you guys, um, and I appreciate the feedback. So, please, if there's anything on your minds, drop me a line. Also, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Um, so it says, when you go into your creative workshop, you can begin to assimilate the data that represents your preferences. And as you assimilate the data, you will prepare a picture of self from which you will begin attracting your experience, the essence of all that has been pleasing you. Attract the essence of whatever pleases me, right? I should have read this first. Right? So this goes with new home, new attitude. And, Joe Dispenza has been coming to mind a lot um, in my readings lately. If you guys have never heard of him, go look up Joe Dispenza. Um, maybe heart brain, what does he call it? Heart brain resonance or something. Anyway, when you look up Joe Dispenza, he'll talk about it. Um, he is really, really good in a crisis like yours. Like he will help you grow your energy, your mind, your attitude into something positive that will steer you towards manifesting a beautiful life, right? Because if you're dwelling over on this side of the reading here of the disappointment and the someone leaving you and the player and everything over here, you're going to miss out on what the divine is waiting to give you. And the divine is very patient. Will wait until you're ready. But why, you know, wallow in the toxicity when you can be having a good time over here in your new home, new attitude, right? So I think that's it. Do we have any other messages? We don't. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. Um, I will be speaking to you soon. Looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Um, I hope you feel better soon. In fact, I know you will feel better soon. Love, light, and many blessings.